Welcome to Tech Bytes and News, your daily roundup of articles featured in Hacker News. Today, we're diving deep into Chimera Linux, a new distribution aiming for a simplified desktop experience. It's a fascinating project, built from the ground up with a unique philosophy. Let's unpack it.
I'm eager to hear this. What makes Chimera Linux so different from other distros? Is it just another systemed-less distro, or is there more to it?
Oh, it's much more than just a systemed alternative. It's fundamentally about simplicity and transparency. The developers, led by Q66, a Void Linux veteran, wanted to eliminate legacy cruft. They're using BSD tools not just for licensing, but primarily for their smaller code size and reduced complexity. Think of it as a lean, mean Linux machine.
Interesting. So they're using Mustel instead of glibstack. That's a significant choice, impacting compatibility, right?
Exactly. Muzzle cuts down on dependencies massively. This simplifies the entire system, making it easier to manage and understand. But yes, it means some precompiled binaries, especially proprietary software, might not work. They suggest Flatpak as a workaround for that. Clever!
And the systemed avoidance? That's a bold move. Many consider systemed essential for modern Linux. What's their reasoning?
They find systemd's implementation rather messy, but they acknowledge its functional improvements. However, they believe the cost of maintaining compatibility with systemd's expectations outweighs the benefits in their pursuit of simplicity. They're not against systemd itself, just its complexity within their design goals. They even explicitly distance themselves from the more extreme anti-systemd community.
So what replaces systemd, and how does that affect the user experience?
They use Dinit, another init system focused on portability. It provides core system service supervision, but delegates other tasks to other programs. For user session tracking, they've forked Login into eLogin, with plans for a more universal API later. Day-to-day use isn't drastically different, except for using DOAS instead of sudo. But for developers, some tools like GCC aren't packaged for all architectures initially, though that's changing.
That's a trade-off, simplicity versus immediate access to all the tools. What about the installation process? Sounds like it's not your typical graphical installer experience.
Yeah. It's manual. Very manual. Think Arch or Gen 2 levels of manual configuration. You're partitioning disks with CFdisk, setting up file systems, mounting them, and then using Chimera Bootstrap inside a CRUT. They provide live images with Gnome or KDE to ease the process, but it's still a hands-on experience. No graphical installer yet.
So it's definitely not for the faint of heart. Who is the target audience then?
Experienced Linux users, definitely. People who appreciate a minimalist approach and are comfortable with command-line tools. It's not a distro for someone looking for a plug-and-play experience. But for those who value transparency and control, it offers a unique and potentially rewarding experience. The project is also actively seeking contributors, and they've already seen significant growth in their community.
It's an interesting experiment, a testament to the flexibility of Linux. What's next for Chimera Linux?
They're focusing on smoothing out the rough edges, particularly around service management without systemd. Replacing eLogin with a custom solution is a key goal. They're using IRC and Matrix for communication, and have a growing Reddit community and Mastodon presence. They're aiming for a 1.0 release sometime in 2026, but given their rapid growth, it might be sooner. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves.
Definitely. Thanks for breaking down Chimera Linux for us. It's a project worth keeping an eye on.
My pleasure. And that's all the time we have for today's Tech Bytes and News. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.